Dr. Dan Arvizu is director of NREL in Colorado and joins us now. Doctor, thanks for being with us.
It's good to be with you, Tyler.
Funny that you mentioned your friend, Dr. Holdren. As you said, you're all members of a scientific community, and there is a bond there, and clearly a commonality in the race for clean energy.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's no question. I think the scientists in the R&D community of this country has been, engaged in issues that relate to innovation and climate change for many years. What's new and different about this time in our history is that there is a great deal of national attention, priority, need, challenges, and it's great to actually be wanted and sought out in some circles these days.
Given the unique role, Doctor, of the national laboratories, it seems that attention is essential for driving research, driving development at your organization.
Well, it certainly is. I like to say, the national labs at the Department of Energy alone represent about 100,000 scientists and engineers and professionals dedicated to serving the national interest, through their profession. And I think there are no more critical times now in terms of security, in terms of energy, in terms of economy, all the major challenges that really reflect, I think, a need for enhanced contribution from our scientific community. So the national labs, I think, are dedicated to that purpose and willing and ready to serve.
It's clear that Secretary Chu has a good feel for what the national laboratories do as well as what they need. If you had his ear for 5 minutes, what is your pitch for what NREL needs, the direction it needs, or the funding it needs from the administration?
Yeah, the fortunate part is I actually do have his ear.
I don't want to presume too much.
Yeah, no, he comes. He has been out to our lab on a couple of occasions and came and, in fact, was very eager to get one of the stops on announcing some of the recovery money and how it had been spent, and brought a big check. We very much applauded that. But certainly Secretary Chu is no stranger to issues that relate to innovation and, in fact, a strong drive and motivation to want to see the scientific community actually kind of being brought to the forefront of the national challenges. So he clearly gets this, and one of the things that we are very eager to do is to help make sure that we are responsive. So big push on more innovation. I think, it's been very clear from the beginning of this new administration that science is a priority and that we want our best and brightest and our most talented workforce out there working on the problems of national importance. I think Secretary Chu is a champion of that, and so we're trying to respond accordingly.
We had a team out at NREL last year, right around August, I believe it was, focusing to some degree, Doctor, on your transportation sector. What right now are you working on that may be flying under the radar, something you're especially proud of regarding the research there?
Now you're talking about transportation specifically?
No, overall, just with your laboratory and what might not be getting attention.
Well, there's a lot of things that essentially we're trying to do. We're trying to put as many parallel path things in place. I think one of the things that we've tried to encourage is this fact that we need a portfolio analysis. So we need a portfolio management approach to our innovation. And as such, there are some things that essentially have not gotten attention in the past that need attention now. Just an example, I think we've let our geosciences competencies and our geothermal approaches to resource development kind of sit in the back burner. Hydrokinetics is another area where there's opportunity space that has heretofore been untapped. We've got a number of what I would call innovation centers around next generation of biofuels. There's a big push today on the revolutionary next generation solar technologies. Certainly a lot of discussion around things that relate to nanosciences. It just happens to be that when you start kind of working at the nanoscale, you get changes in essentially the basic laws that govern the way materials operate. As a result, these are opening up new avenues of research, and yet haven't gotten a lot of public play. But I think it's very exciting in the laboratory because I think it is the future technologies that will emanate from these basic things that are going on in the labs.
In addition to your experience at NREL, Doctor, you've been with Sandia. You also are a veteran of the famed Bell Labs, which Secretary Chu touts regularly and very publicly. Do you agree with his emphasis on the Bell Lab model, for lack of a better term, and something that can be implemented at our national labs?
I very much do. I think one of the things, being a veteran of the lab system, and specifically when I was at Bell Labs, I was in that space between the basic sciences and the manufacturing of essentially private sector equipment. So there was a bridge even within the Bell system that took Bell Labs inventions and put them into the marketplace in a kind of vertically integrated sort of way. When I left the labs, I went to Sandia Labs to actually start the solar programs in the mid 70s. I'm sorry, and as a result, we've had a lot of history with that. And Sandia was run by AT&T literally for 20-something years. So. From my perspective, I have kind of lived in that Bell system for a long, long time, and it is, in fact, something that can be greatly transformed into what we can do today.
Well, as the loudspeakers are indicating by blaring right now, we need to wrap up and return to the program. Dr. Dan Arvizu is Director of NREL in Colorado. Doctor, a pleasure to have you with us.
Good to be with you, Tyler.